These are some of the examples of some of the issues. On the brighter side, okay, what we're doing is moving towards what we call performance-based design, where we're really trying to evaluate hazards in detail. And there's actually some people in this room whose companies have worked on a number of these major projects, right? Who can tell me what these are? Anybody know? Upper left? Is that the Luxor? I don't think that's the Luxor, is it? All right. The Luxor Hotel in Las Vegas. Lower left is the Stratosphere in Las Vegas. Upper center is the Venetian in Las Vegas. The lower center is the Water Cube at the Olympics in Beijing. And I forget the name of the one on the right. Again, fire protection engineers are involved in all this. You can't build these buildings to the traditional regulations, and so you have to go above and beyond the code. And it's fire protection engineers on the design team who typically do that. Just a quick history of fire protection engineering in the United States. The program was started at the Illinois Institute of Technology a little bit more than 100 years ago. The program started at University of Maryland at College Park in 1956. The graduate program was started at Worcester Polytechnic Institute in '79, and we just started the program here as of the fall quarter. That's kind of the extent of the engineering education in fire protection engineering in the United States. It's good news, bad news. Good news is there's always a lot of demand for fire protection engineers because we're producing so few of them in any given year. So the professional society for this profession, Society of Fire Protection Engineers, was started in 1950. And I do want to point out that we do have registration in fire protection engineering, professional engineering exam. I think it's in 46 out of the 50 states now, something like that. So it was just started in 1981, and it's grown to cover all the states. So it's a recognized profession that does require professional registration. Demand for fire protection engineers generally exceeds the available supply. And one of the reasons why we're starting the program here is because a lot of the employers you're going to hear from tonight would bring students, bring graduates from the East Coast programs out here, get them trained, and then they'd say, I want to go home, and they'd move back east. And, you know, it's, so what they said is, we'd really like to have a program on the West Coast so that we could hire locally people who grew up here, want to be here, and have more longevity. So a little bit about the demand. This is running a little bit longer than I care for, you know, but this is one of the principles with Eric Fire. You're going to hear from Eric Fire this evening, and he was one of the past Society of Fire Protection Engineering presidents. But you know, there is a demand, right? There's been a really strong demand. It's been a little bit softer recently with the economic downturn, but indications are that it's increasing. So it's a good time to get educated, because then you catch the right wave on the way up. Students are always interested in pay for some reason. And students' parents are even more interested in pay for some reason. But in any case, you know, this is competitive with other engineering disciplines. You know, actually, in some respects, we see that pay can be towards the upper end of the scale for entry-level engineers because of the demand. But you can see, you know, somewhere within the first 6 years, you know, the median is somewhere around $75,000. And you know, if you compare this with other engineering disciplines, it's pretty similar. In terms of education levels, you know, you're not going to see a big difference in these. And you know, we're offering a master's program, so it's kind of competitive, although not that much different from the few programs that offer bachelor's degrees. So, what are some of the reasons why people like to work in this field? There is a variety of work. I'll let you take a look at this. We do have some career brochures with some of these same things in it. A lot of different types of projects. A lot of people, you get out in the field a fair amount. You're not typically constrained to a desk. A lot of travel opportunities. There's been a lot of opportunity for work in the Far East, you know, in China, parts of China. So here's one of my former students at Maryland who, this can actually get old. Once you start to have a family, this might not be so attractive, but for engineers coming out of school, it's kind of a nice opportunity. And Stacy Welch is with Marriott, and so she travels around the world, going to all the Marriott properties around the world, making sure that they all meet the standards for Marriott, and gets a lot of job satisfaction out of her career. So that's, I think, more or less. We've got some brochures in the back you can take, or you can go to the SFPE website to learn more about careers in this field. And if you need more information, there's a lot of different ways for you to get to us, or if you're interested in the professional contacts through SFPE. So I told all these other presenters they get 5 minutes, and I violated my own rule, but I make the rules. So. Chris, while Chris is getting set up, are there any questions from anybody?